All right, guys, welcome to the latest monthly update. Got a few new listings and a few trades as well. Did want to go over with you guys, as well as the current interest rate and inflation climate as well. So without further ado, going to go over some new listings. We've got a property that we have had out there for lease for quite some time. It's off Grand Avenue and 7th Avenue here in Phoenix. It's a historic building that was built in 1917. It's the O.S. Stapley property. It's 723 to 747 Grand Avenue. It's about 36,000 square feet, and we've got about 18,000 square feet available for lease or an owner user. We're taking it out at $9.5 million, which is about $258 a square foot. Good potential for a showroom, flex, warehouse, or even creative office as well. A portion of the property is leased out to the Be Kind People Project, a nonprofit that's a local group, does really well, great charitable work. And we also do have Chula's Seafood in a freestanding portion of the property as well.
Yeah, and we're taking out another pretty nice industrial condo here off of 12th Place in Tempe. That one's 6,000 square feet. Has minimal office, about 15%, so pretty good mix between warehouse and office on that one. Swamp coolers in the warehouse as well as fire sprinklers. It has 16-foot clear height, has a truck well and a grade level door. And we're going to be asking $1.40 a square foot industrial gross on that one. It's a really functional space and expecting that one to go fairly quickly.
I like that there's no pillars in the warehouse too. It's completely unobstructed, so pretty
Exactly.
good.
There's a lot of uses that could work with that one. Moving into some of the recent trades, the first one was actually a building that our team sold just a couple weeks ago off of 35th Street. It's 4802 South 35th Street. That one was just under 9,500 square feet, sold for $1.98 million, $210 a square foot. It's actually an all-cash deal with a 14-day escrow, something that you don't see too often, but we were certainly happy with those terms.
Yeah.
The building was block construction, built in 1984. It had 2 grade level doors, 1 truck well, and 750 amps of power. That one had 16 feet of clear height. It was industrial park zoning and situated on 0.7 acres on a corner lot there off of Weir and 35th Street.
Yeah, nice property and a nice sale. Glad we finally got that one across. Next one is a trade down in Chandler off of Erie Street. It was about 13,900 square feet, sold for about $263 a square foot. This property's on the market for a while, about 9 months. It's 100% HVAC, was built in 1997, has 16-foot clear height, and is zoned PAD Chandler as well. It's also block construction. Next one that's actually interesting, this one's sold off market at 115 North Pasadena in Gilbert. And we talk about this quite a bit, where owners might elect to go with a buyer that has been reaching out to them, and typically that buyer might not be able to pay the highest and best price. This property sold for about $198 a square foot, where we're seeing comps in this particular submarket range anywhere between $230 to $260 a square foot. So definitely a missed opportunity there. So it was about 18,000 square feet. Flex warehouse sold for about $3.5 million at $198 a square foot. Block construction, built in 1997, has 4 grade level doors and 25-foot clear height. It does have a lot of those specs, so if they did actually go out and put it on the market, they would have exceeded the number that they've got by quite a good amount. The next trade is off of Fry Road in Chandler, 2875 West Fry Road. So at 25,000 square feet, sold for $5 million at $204 a square foot. It's actually concrete construction, built in 1998, and has 1 grade level door, 22-foot clear height, 100% AC, and does have a secured yard with I-1 zoning as well. Also does sit on about 2.65 acres as well.
Last trade we're going to be going over is 16460 North 91st Street in Scottsdale. Really nice property, about 10,700 square feet. It was a flex warehouse, sold for $4.15, worth $387 a square foot. Pretty high price per foot on that one. It's block construction, built in 2004, had 1 grade level door, 65% warehouse, 35% office, and 600 amps of power. That one had 18 feet of clear height, zoned I-1 for Scottsdale on 0.75 acres and had a secured yard.
Nice.
So really had a lot of the bells and whistles people are looking for. Moving into our last topic, something that comes up a lot right now. There's a lot of speculation about interest rates, what's going to happen, and really this topic has been big since interest rates started going up. People have been asking, when are they going to start going down?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone knows the answer to that, but people definitely like to make their guesses. And Reuters actually came out with an article talking about some of the interest rate decreases in Canada and Europe. We saw the first rates coming down. Bank of Canada was actually the first G7 nation to cut rates, trimming the benchmark rate by 25 basis points to 4.75. And their CPI rate is at 2.7%.
Wow.
So still a little bit higher than that goal of 2% that a lot of the nations are targeting. And Sweden actually lowered their borrowing costs to 3.75 from 4%, another 25 basis points.
Interesting.
And their inflation dropped from over 10% to just over the 2% target. And obviously that leads us into the question about the U.S. When is our time to see lower rates? A lot of people are looking forward to that. We're still at 3.3% inflation for the last 12-month period leading up to May. And that's coming down from a 9.1% in 2022.
Yeah. Still a ways to go, but a lot closer than it was.
Exactly. And it's interesting to read into why some of the other countries did lower rates, because obviously they only trimmed to 25 basis points.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's going to make that much of a dent in the demand, especially for real estate, but if nothing else, it at least gets people back into the market and starting to think about rates coming down and deals penciling too.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's going to be it for this month. Mark Cassell, Landon McKernan. We'll see you next time.